Browns topic today. A quick word from FanDuel. You guys know I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop, but as we get deeper and deeper into the summer, we have fewer and fewer games, and the sports just aren't sportsing like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right, there's something for everyone every day all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball and the ultimate Cleveland sports show. After practice yesterday, Kevin Stefanski said he expects both Jed Wills and Jack Conklin to be ready and healthy for week 1, despite the fact that neither has yet to practice so far in training camp. Jed Wills has been out since week 7 of last season. He had a knee scope surgery on top of an MCL injury. Jack Conklin, I believe he tore his ACL. He was out after week 1 when he got injured against Cincinnati. Neither has played in quite a while, and neither has practiced yet this preseason. So I'm curious, Jason, Earl, Bull, we'll start with Jason. Are you buying Kevin Stefanski's optimism that both will be ready and healthy for week 1?
Well, Kevin doesn't ever say anything, so if he's saying they're ready for week 1, I believe him. They're probably ready to play right now.
Right.
If they're ready to play if he's saying that.
I mean, that injury to Conklin was 11 months ago. I mean,
yeah.
And he's an offensive lineman. It's not like he's got a – I think he'd be all right.
I mean, but Jed's far more important than Jack Conklin at this point.
Right, but that wasn't as what was Conklin's? What was Jed's injury? That wasn't a torn ACL.
It was an MCL something. It was never fully disclosed, the extent of the MCL, and he had his knee scoped, which is what Dalvin Tomlinson just had.
So a couple things on the offensive line, guys, is that I was stunned when Greg Cosell spoke as highly as he did about Jed Wills. This man studies the tape like nobody else. There's no emotion from Greg Cosell. There's no, I love this guy, I like it. It's all, here's what I've seen, here's what I watch, here's what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And in the end, he said Jed Wills is a top half starting offensive lineman.
My guy.
So I've been killing the guy for years.
I just want average.
And I said to Greg, no, I didn't say this to Greg. I said, I don't know where I said this.
You said it on the show.
I said it on the show?
To us on Wednesday.
That maybe it's all the, oh no. But this part that I'm about to say, you don't even know what to say.
Does it have to say with Joe Thomas?
It does.
You did tell us. Say it again because Jason wasn't here.
So I'm going to say it again because you weren't here.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was like with Jerome Ford last year. That was the example I used, so I'll say it again. Jerome Ford, we were kind of down on him last year. But part of it was we're so used to seeing Nick Chubb be amazing.
You don't want to be the guy that replaces the guy.
That Jerome Ford was okay.
Yeah.
But it looked worse because it was comparing it to Nick Chubb. And I wonder if it's the same thing with Jed. Joe Thomas was so good that we see Jed have 3-4 plays where he looks like crap.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, he sucks. Well, he doesn't suck. He's just not Joe Thomas.
I do think Jed hurts himself a little bit with the body language.
His body language is terrible.
Awful.
And he does have
awful.
He has plays where it seems like he takes off.
I mean, Zach and I think it was the Buffalo game in Detroit, and the Browns come out of the tunnel, and Zach goes, watch Jed. Just watch him.
Yeah.
And they come jogging out of the tunnel, and they all get on the field, and they start stretching, warming up. And Jed jogs off the field and goes down and sits on the bench and goes like this.
They should have drafted Tristan Wirfs, let's be honest.
And it's like, and watching him stretch, and like everyone else is like going through the stretch. And Jed takes 27 minutes to tie his shoes and get his wrist taped and all the things that should have been done already. And it's the little things like that. Yeah. But I've always thought he's average. He had a couple terrible games at the start of last year. Terrible games. But he is what he is. He's an average left tackle. You could do better. You could do better.
Definitely.
You could do a lot worse.
Yes.
And it's hard to find better. It's hard from where they're at and where they're drafting. It's hard to find better. So you got what you've got with him.
Yeah.
I think he's very average. I'd love to hear Cosell say he's above average in top 10.
He did.
I'd take that every time.
It's funny because I 100% agree with Bull on this. I think because of who you were coming up behind, the expectations is through the roof. And
he's a Hall of Famer.
And it clouds your judgment.
And if you don't believe that, ask every kicker before Dustin Hopkins that came here at the field Dawson.
Right, yeah.
We was ready to run their ass out of town the first time you even thought about missing the field goal because he set the bar so high. You know, when it comes to Jed, I think he is average. We should have drafted Tristan Wirfs. But, you know, average is I can take that. Can we get better? Yes. Yeah. But because of Joe Thomas playing that position, you know, I do look at Jed sometimes and I think I have this unrealistic expectation of him being this, all pro,
Right.
Pro Bowl
He's never gonna be
caliber,
that.
future Hall of
Right.
Famer, and that's not who
But
he is. What he is he's a piece of the puzzle on the offensive line that if he does his job and everybody else does his job, everything should be okay.
When he messes up, it is so glaring.
Yes.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
And it's not a replay, though. It's just a handful of times.
Right.
But the fact that, like, he just stops. Like, again, it's the body language.
Yep.
That's effort. But just sometimes his body language does not help him out at all. But I don't think he's bad. I certainly don't think he's terrible. I think he is what he is.
Yeah. Steve Becker, our executive producer, texted us an article before the show, which was based on a Bleacher Report article suggesting the Browns should trade Jack Conklin to the Chiefs for a 3rd and a 5th round pick. Now, listen, I don't like Jack Conklin's contract, but it's the last year of the deal at this point, so who cares? If I'm the Browns, I'm not trading any tackles because all 3 of their tackles are
hurt last
He's got
year.
another year after this.
That he's guaranteed money? I don't think next year is guaranteed, is it?
I don't know. I thought he's got another year after this. I don't know the guarantee number.
Yeah, well, maybe it is. I guess if you get a 3rd round pick from him, you consider it, but
I would not.
I would not
trade
because
him.
they got so many injury
Why
problems
trade
to tackle.
him? Why trade him?
We ended up with like 3 dudes off the street playing tackle last year. Like,
and
the more depth you have,
And
the
DeJuan
better.
Jones, let's face it, at his size, it's going to be hard to keep him healthy.
Absolutely, yes. That's what I was going to say. Like DeJuan is not a sure thing to stay healthy all year.
Nope.
I mean, so at the end of practice at the Greenbrier, they line up on the field and they got to run back and forth the width of the field, not the length, the width of the field.
Mm-hmm.
And DeJuan was last every time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't close.
Right.
And the last sprint, he was basically walking the last 20,
Was Jed
25
doing
feet.
it too?
No, Jed wasn't doing
okay,
it. And he's just a massive. DeJuan Jones makes Joe Bitonio look small when they stand next to each other. It's unbelievable how big he is.
Yes.
And he could be elite. He could be an elite tackle, but he's got to stay healthy and he's got to get the mental side down.
Yeah.
But
You wonder what happens if he's not a starter at the beginning
he's
of the
going
year.
to start.
100%?
I mean, I'm not the coach, but yeah, I think he's going to start.
So you think Conklin's going to be on the bench?
Yeah.
If everybody's healthy?
Yeah, I think Conklin he's lost the starting job. I think he's the backup.
Okay. I think that makes sense.
You mentioned Conklin's contract. Just to clarify, he has no guaranteed money next season.
Yeah, okay, good.
If he were to be cut, just a dead cap hit of slightly under $8 million, certainly palatable.
Yeah.
As opposed to whatnot, but yeah, his cap hit next season if he's on the team, $19 million. If he's cut, $8 million.
All right.
No guarantee.
So this is his last year.
Yeah, he's gone after this season. But listen, when you're trying to win a Super Bowl, you don't trade guys who could be useful for draft picks.
All hands
Did we
on
figure
deck.
that out last year with the quarterback?
Right. That's it. I mean, you just don't do that.
Because I know it's been a while, but, with Conklin being that rotational tackle, he played some left tackle when he was at Michigan State. Now, of course, when he got to Tennessee, Taylor Lewan was there, so it wasn't none of that. He was going on the right side. But
he probably could do it.
A veteran that can play right or left tackle
very
as your
valuable.
alternate, I'll take that.
And at this point, like the cap isn't a concern.
Nope.
I don't see the incentive to trade him.
No.
Nah.
I get it. A 3rd round pick could be valuable, but in the end, you're trying. If they were not a Super Bowl contender,
They'll take another
you wouldn't do
receiver
it.
they miss on with a 3rd round pick.
And,
I'd
but
rather
not
have
only
Jack
that,
Conklin.
we talk a lot about Amari being this tutor to Jerry Jeudy. Well, we understand that the Browns are preparing themselves to have a different looking offensive line in the next season or two. So you want as many veteran teachers on that offensive line and in that room as you possibly can, especially with the young guys that's been here for a year
And
or
especially
two.
with a young now coach at the position.
Yeah,
as opposed to the veteran that was here.
keep it like that.
All right, Mike.